Today's podcast is brought to you by the BetStamp app, which is helping thousands of people win in sports betting for free. The same way travelers use Google Flights or Expedia to find the best prices, bettors can now use BetStamp to do the same. When you place a bet, the odds given by a sportsbook will determine how much you could possibly win. Even when betting on the same outcome, different sportsbooks will offer varying payouts, and these differences can be huge. Thankfully, BetStamp allows you to easily line shop for the most profitable odds across all sports books. You can click on any matchup and instantly see all the different odds for game lines, player props, and even futures bets. Line shopping is the simplest way to find an edge in sports betting long term. On average, BetStamp users win an extra $1,000 yearly just by line shopping. You can find the BetStamp app on the Apple iOS Store, Google Play Store, or through your browser at www.betstamp.app. To access all these benefits, sign up using promo code SIGBOYS and start your journey to successful sports betting today. If you forget to use the code upon sign up, you can always enter our code in your BetStamp account settings afterwards. Check it out. What's going on, everybody? This is the Sync Boys Podcast. Creepy guy Jack.
That's me. That's why I'm here.
Hi, boys. NBA free agency has exploded. Bang! A lot of new faces on a lot of new teams. A lot of guys staying with teams where it didn't really seem like it makes sense. Kyle Kuzma. I think that there's a couple surprise teams making an impact. I'm already disappointed in a bunch of guys' decisions, but we're going to get into it. Jack?
So many guys re-signed. Sabonis, Westbrook, Brook Lopez.
Yeah, that was the one I wanted on the Warriors.
Middleton doesn't seem to... I guess everybody seems to want to run it back. The Bucks. They're not listening to the media. Media saying that they're frauds, that they can't do it.
Dude, they were the best team in the regular season last year.
No, they weren't.
In the East.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Giannis getting hurt, I don't know why you would break that team up. It's not like they failed. They've been
People say
title contenders for 3 years and they won a championship.
It's just fan talk. But a lot of people say, KD, foot on the line. If that didn't happen, the Bucks would never win, and they've kind of only
Those people are fucking losers.
Yeah. Explain to me why the Grizzlies went out and got D Rose.
All right. Derrick Rose. First of all, most of their roster is under 25 years old. So right there, you get a veteran presence in that locker room. And then on top of that, you also have a veteran guard who is going to be able to cope. But they got rid of Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks. So outside of Ja and Desmond Bane, there's not a lot of young guys there anymore, but they are still young, those two guys.
Jaren Jackson.
He's a forward.
Oh, I'm talking about
young
just
guards.
general locker room presence, though, like you brought up just before that.
And
they have a younger team.
Your point off the air was he didn't even play for the Knicks. Why would they give him a 2-year deal? It's because he can, if you're going to get rid of Tyus Jones in a trade, you're going to need a ball handler for your second unit. He can do that. And he still has enough of an explosive side to him to be able to create for himself and other players. I think it was a great signing.
So I got a couple surprises. We got a bunch of other re-signings we're going to touch on, but first one, Bruce Brown to the Pacers.
Dude just went after his bag. He already won a championship.
Did he get highly paid?
Yeah, he got overpaid like a motherfucker.
Wow.
2 years, 45? That's way over his value.
Yeah, that seems to be the sweet spot this offseason right now. It's guys getting from around 20 to 30 mil.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
guys of all different values. Like Brooks signed for 24 a year, I think. Bruce
that's
Brown,
crazy.
22 and a half. Reeves only got 14 and a half.
But the Reeves play was definitely the fact that he was undrafted. There's probably a max on what he could sign for. I think that 98 was the max that he could sign for, but you know how competitive that guy is. Look at how he plays. I think that he was down for the movement in Los Angeles. They were able to bring back everybody, so I think that that's what it was about more for him.
Everybody except for
I think Mo Bamba got released.
yikes. Um, dude, who did
Dennis
they?
Schroeder went to the
Yeah,
other team.
Schroeder. So that was my next surprise. So Schroeder's Lakers replace Schroeder with Gabe Vincent. They also bring back Hachimura, Reeves, and Russell.
Yeah, I think that they did the right thing. I wouldn't have liked to see them re-sign D'Angelo Russell, but I don't know what the market would have been for somebody that can do what he can do without being him. So there's that part of it. I would have just given a larger role to Reeves in general. You're going to get rid of Schroeder, and if you were to get rid of Russell, I would just give the keys to the car to Austin Reeves. They let he prove that he's capable.
Feels like a lot of micromanaging that I might be doing here, but it seems like the Lakers, you always want enough guys to be able to compete a deep bench, but do you kind of feel like with all these names and the guys that they're bringing back that maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen or
No, I think that the role players that they were able to sign as like definitive bench guys, I think none of them have this like dominant kind of personality on a basketball court. Like they're role guys. So like you're never gonna
D'Angelo
have
Russell?
all your starters on the bench and you're never gonna have all your bench guys on the floor at once. So you're going to have like let's just say it's just Anthony Davis out there. You can run the offense through him. All the other guys play their roles. Just LeBron, obviously, just Reeves. Like you can run the offense through any of the starters that they have if you have all those complementary pieces that they sign. I like what the Lakers did.
To me, still though, and D'Angelo Russell, to me, he's a little bit more ball dominant. He takes needs to take a bunch of shots, it feels like. Would he be a good second unit option? Yeah, but we saw what he did on the T Wolves before he got traded. If I'm D'Angelo Russell, I don't know why he signed with the Lakers.
Maybe there wasn't a big market for him. I mean, I don't think that the general population has a considers him to be like a good enough player for a big deal. Maybe that's just what the market was, and then it's just like logistic stuff. Like, do you want to move yet again? Like, is there another opportunity that is actually better, or is a team like Detroit trying to sign you? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, it's probably also like winning ambition, but at the same time, he's almost a second unit guy, it feels like in that on that team. Even though he might start, it feels like sometimes when he's overshooting, he's taking opportunities away from some guys. Hachimura should start. That's a guy that should start. That guy was awesome in the
It
playoffs.
reminds me a lot of Kaminga.
Yeah, maybe not as athletic, but very able.
They're both like extremely sturdy, 6'8", 220.
Kaminga's 6'8".
I believe so.
Yeah,
He's a body dude.
yeah, no. He's one of those guys that can jump really high and far and dunk and do it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty good on defense too because he's a big effort guy. But um, Draymond Green back with the Warriors.
I've done a cheaper deal than I ever could have imagined. I think on the last pod we were arguing about we were talking about the Chris Paul trade and how that affects the Warriors offense. And I was talking about Draymond Green's like role in this if they were to re-sign him. And the number that we were talking about was he was probably going to make 40 million a year, but for them to get him at 25 a year is an absolute fucking steal.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder now. It's like what were the dominoes that needed to fall in this offseason for the Warriors figure out like the best possible way to move on from the Draymond Poole situation, and they traded Jordan Poole away. And then if you're going to make that move, can you re-sign Draymond and not break the bank? They've done it great so far.
The next question I have is Van Vliet to the Rockets. Max deal, 130 million over 3 years.
Dude, I don't know how many like a player's first max deal in the NBA. I don't know how many of them have ever been 3 years. That's weird to me. Most of the time, it's the 5 years that we saw with like Desmond Bain or I don't know. There's other guys, but
Van Vliet is a disgruntled veteran who's won a ring to me. Desmond Bain is going into his third or fourth year,
I think his fourth.
and he's young, and it seems like he might be a franchise guy. So
Yeah.
that seems like why maybe he's getting the term. For me, Van Vliet is like it's more of like a market veteran thing where, well, we're going to try to win a ring in this little window here, but I'm not wasting the rest of my career in Houston where it's a massive question mark right now.
See, like what I just talked about with D'Angelo Russell, like what would other teams and who would the other teams be to offer him more money? It's like that's what Van Vliet did. Like Houston had all the cap space in the world. They have probably like 10 guys under 22 under contract for their team. So to get and really what they needed last year was a point guard. I mean, they were bad, but they don't have a natural point guard on that roster, and now they have Van Fleet. So I guess it was a good move for them. He's also a veteran that won a championship, so and won a championship under Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse is
No, is he in Houston? No.
no, Ime Doku.
Yeah. Nope. Maybe that was probably a bargaining chip right there.
Yeah,
Good coach he is.
I don't really like Fred Van Vliet's game. I feel like he's I have a no problem going 1 for 12 in a game and contributing barely anything else to the team type of guy, but apples to oranges. Some people like that kind of guy.
The undersized guys that maybe can't create like a Steph Curry or a Chris Paul, that are kind of mostly shooters. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get behind. Van Vliet also had his coming out party in like 2018 or 2019 when they went on that run, and he started getting more time, and now he's getting a max deal.
Unbelievable.
His career averages can't be higher than like 23 a game.
No way.
Not even close.
I think it's like 15 probably.
So a couple more re-signings. Chris Middleton staying with the Bucks. Kyrie staying with the Mavs. Jeremy Grant staying with the Blazers. Kuzma,
Yeah, I mean,
Wizards.
I think well, Jeremy Grant definitely like that signing, maybe not him himself, but that signing definitely was one of the flags that went up that made Damian Lillard request a trade because giving a max deal to somebody that was on the Blazers last year, like not going out and spending that money on somebody to make the team better, probably what that was about. Who else did you just say?
Kuzma with the Wizards.
This guy is the definition of I only care about myself. He's gonna be best buds with Jordan Poole. There's gonna be so many memes next year. House Jones in the back, just like you guys are fucking kids.
The entrance videos of what they're wearing to the game, walking in together, wearing little Blades of Glory matching outfit. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for. Damian Lillard wants to be a Miami Heat. There was speculation about it after an IG Live story with Welcome to Miami. There was lots of speculation so far about where he wanted to go, and he's talked about in past years. A question of his loyalty and him staying around. A little Aaron Rodgers, a little bit of John Tavares going back to 2018. Little hints, flavors in there. Getting to land the plane.
Yeah.
What do we think about Dame right now? Where is he going? It seems like he wants to go to the Heat. It seems like the Blazers aren't going to accommodate that interest. What's happening?
Yeah, these are my least favorite conversations in sports is where should somebody go? Because it always brings your expectations up to the moon. And it's always a trade that comes out of left field, a team that comes out of nowhere that sweeps in and gets the guy like Kyrie to the Mavs last year. Didn't make any sense to me, and
It would have
that's
been
what
really
ended up
fun
happening.
to see him go to a team where he might have worked out.
They're like the fucking Lakers, dude. Get Kyrie back with LeBron. We need to see how that story ends. But yeah, I don't think the Heat have anything to offer Portland. So I'm not surprised that they are outright saying that they're not going to cater to his wants and needs. They don't owe him anything. They've paid him hundreds of millions of dollars over the course of his career. Dude, also, what's with this fucking nice guy thing between organizations and players? Oh, you want to get traded to that team specifically? Sure, no problem. We'll help you out. We'll set our organization back 10 years. No problem. Why would Philly do the same with
no
James
trade
Harden?
clauses?
What do you mean?
No trade clauses. They put in their contract. You can't trade me to a whole bunch of places.
Teams don't want that shit.
Of course, teams don't want it, but they signed it too.
Who has that?
Veterans. Damian Lillard.
Unnamed veterans. He has it? No, he doesn't.
Dude.
Does he?
Dude, NHLers have no trade clauses.
Yeah,
these NBA superstars have no trade clauses.
I think LeBron does.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I don't think that it's common in the NBA, dude.
What do you mean? Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was like, you can send me like 2 places. Otherwise, I'm not going anywhere. These guys have control of where they go. They have no trade clauses. You're not trading me to Washington. Are you kidding me?
I don't think that it works like that, dude. I don't think that there's enough cutthroat. Like, you agreed to be on this team for 4 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And we have like 2 seasons where we don't make it to the finals, and all of a sudden, you want to hop ship. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. I'm shipping your ass to fucking Washington.
If it's in ink, you gotta, like, that's a contract.
Dude, you are talking about no trade clauses being in most players' contracts. That's not the precedent.
Not most players, but we're talking about the top of the top. We're talking about Damian Lillard.
Top of the top? Have you seen this guy's resume? It's 1-0-0-0-0-0-0-0-0-0. You know what that 1 is, dude? It's rookie of the fucking year. Rookie of the year.
Okay, Joe, he doesn't have his accolades. I understand.
Accolades.
The guy doesn't have a bunch of accolades, but he is still considered one of the best shooters in the league, one of the best scorers in the league, and he averaged 32 points last year, dude.
Congratulations.
He's
dude.
one of the
team missed the playoffs by 10 games.
This is undeniable. He doesn't have the support around him, and he's one, dude. It's undeniable to say that he is a top.
Try to get to the playoffs then.
It's undeniable to say that Damian Lillard is like a top 15 player in the league.
That doesn't mean that an organization,
and he spent so much time there with Portland, where it's like, yeah, dude, you get these contracts, you get that offer. It's like, you want to sign somebody to a long-term deal, there's going to be incentives for the player to sign it, and besides the money, there is the you get to also decide where you go if you're not happy with us anymore.
Dude, I understand what you're saying, dude, with no trade clauses. And I think you're hooked on this whole NHL thing. NBA players, this is not common, dude. This is not common whatsoever. Also, if you're doing a no trade clause, this pretty much means that Like if this is in the negotiations, that means that on one of the happiest days of a player's life, where he signs a big deal with a new team, everybody's all happy and shit. The team is happy. They're like, we're so excited to have you. We're gonna do big things. The player is like, I can't wait to get to work. Let's go. But hold on. Make sure that in my contract it says that you cannot trade me anywhere that I don't want to go. You think that the team is like, yes, master, yes, sir, anything that you need, we will get to you. No problem. Yes, sir. Not only are we going to give you $250 million, but we're also going to get on our hands and fucking knees and make sure that you are the happiest person on the planet, and we're going to leave our personal interests and our needs for this organization to be successful behind. Unbelievable.
A player who re-signs with his previous team on a 1-year contract or a 2-year deal with an option year is given no trade protection. So it is almost like any player can have no trade protection. There's only 10 players in NBA history who have gotten complete no trade clause. Like,
is LeBron one of them?
Yeah, they have total control right now. I think it's him, Bradley Beal, Melo had it, D Wade had it, KG had it, Nowitzki, Duncan, Bryant, John Stockton, David Robinson.
Wow.
Okay, so I want to play this game real quick.
I love games and playing.
Free agency's been, I think it's 3 days in so far. We have some answers as to who Dame probably won't be joining in a trade. The Bucks, because they just signed a bunch of their guys, re-signed a bunch of their guys. Doesn't seem like they're probably going to be able to pay him. The Heat don't have trade assets, like we just talked about. And they don't have anything to give back to Portland. Let's do some reconnaissance here. Where could he end up?
I hate this game.
Who has any money right now?
The bottom of the barrel teams. The teams that had expiring contract players last year, that the rest of their roster is under 25 years old with no second contracts. And dude, there's been so many signings already that I don't know if there's more than 3 or 4 teams that would be able to take on Dame's contract unless they trade major assets and contracts themselves. Dude, I don't know. I think that it should be a 3-team deal that brings James Harden to Houston, Damian Lillard to Philly, and Portland just gets hella picks from both teams.
So I was looking up the standings from last year, just like he probably wants to go to a contender. So Philly, good point. Will he be able to bring a hunger to win to Embiid? Does Dame have winning ability in the playoffs, the will to win?
I mean, he is a dog. He
okay,
does.
Now he's a dog. But
well, when it gets to the actually being on the court, like, he has shown that he can carry a team in the playoffs, but he's never gotten past the second round.
When you're a guy like Dame and you've been in the league for this long for one team, it's got to feel like a little giddy, like, what team am I going to end up? What uniform am I wearing next year? Where am I buying a house in a couple months?
Dude, did you I think the Aaron Rodgers saga is the perfect example of that. This guy is going on shows and saying that the past couple months of him deciding to sign with the Jets and prior to like camp starting have been some of the funnest months of his entire life. It's like, yeah, dude, change. It's exciting. So yeah,
scary, but yeah. All right, Celtics just paid Kristaps, probably going to pay Jaylen Brown too. Doesn't sound like Dame might land there. Cavs,
too many guards. They need bigs.
Knicks,
yeah,
get
him in there. Yeah, dude. If they were to,
are they re-signing Randall, or Randall's already still there for another year? They just traded Obi Toppin.
Yeah, for
dude, sold him high.
2 second rounders.
Julius Randle was out for a little while. Obi Toppin, dude, Obi Toppin came in and averaged like 20 points.
Stop, dude.
He did. He came in and he averaged like 20 points. Nobody thought he was going to be anything, at least not me. People weren't talking highly of him on the radio. Shout out the fan. Love the fan. Bye, Chris. Yikes, Craig Carton.
Dude, fuck that guy.
They sold Obi Toppin high. Now, I wish I had Julius Randle's contract in front of me right now. But are they going to be able to pay these guys? Are they going to be able to pay Dame? Is Dame's contract up? So you're just taking on his contract. Maybe they have retention. They do a lot of that in the NHL.
What is that?
50% retention on the AAV.
What, until the next year? Is that why
for the rest of the
there's, like,
contract?
20 guys in the NHL that just like
No, because that mostly happens for guys on expiring deals. So it's like a trade deadline. It's like, all right, you have to pay like 50% of his $8 million.
I have no clue what you're talking about. I understand the concept, but I don't know anything about it in terms of in the NBA. I think that doesn't exist.
Okay.
But yes, they can pay him.
He would fit on the Knicks. I mean, they definitely need scoring, but
They need
I feel like they need to
shooting.
get bigger.
No,
Mitchell
they do not
Robinson
need
is
size.
a
They do not need
is
size.
not talented big man.
They do not need size.
I don't know why you
Randall's
say that.
not going anywhere. I mean, if
That's disappointing.
Randall ends up in the trade for Damian Lillard, if that were to actually happen, so be it. But I don't think they need bigs, dude. Who else they have? Mitch, Rob, Isaiah Hart. Is that it? Josh Hart?
Shooting guard.
Yeah, I would really like him on the Knicks. I think he would be a good pairing with Brunson.
Nets. Hawks.
If this guy's talking about Miami, bro, he's lived in Portland his entire career. Portland is like, it's not Miami, I'll tell you that. So, and New York is definitely not Miami. Specifically, Brooklyn is definitely not Miami, dude. It seems like this guy wants a fair weather place.
All right, well, he's not going to the bottom barrel. He's not going to Toronto. He's not going to Chicago. He's not going to Indiana. All right, let's go to the West. The Grizzlies. They just paid Desmond Bane.
No way. They need bigs.
Nuggets aren't getting them. Kings. I feel like they might be full.
Yeah, they're good.
They just paid Sabonis. Suns, no way. Clippers, no way. Warriors, no way.
I don't know why the Clippers wouldn't engage in talks.
They just signed Russell Westbrook.
I mean,
that's
$3
true
million
too,
a year.
because there's been a lot of talk about PG getting traded.
I would trade Kawhi. Probably get a lot more for Kawhi, and you're trading away a guy that doesn't even play.
It's a damn shame. We were doing our Joe brought up earlier this week we should do a top 10 athletes list.
Oh yeah,
and I compiled a whole bunch of lists. My NBA one is absurd, but I have Kawhi at like 6 or 7, and
total athletes.
No, in the NBA, and it's just purely like if this guy isn't injured all the time, just like impact on the game, dominance, how good they are, how good they can be. Kawhi is so good in every facet of the game, and he just can't stay on the court. You can't say that about a lot of guys.
Dude, one thing Bill Simmons is the best. If you want to learn about the game of basketball, you listen to Bill Simmons because they tackle every single aspect of, like, they speak about player movement like you're a GM. And then on top of that, they mention if you are the Clippers owner, you're opening a new arena next year. You are not like, how are you going to tell fans, hey, we just built a new arena. Come see our team play. If you have Kawhi and Paul George constantly sitting out games, and Russell Westbrook being the star of the team, and the whole league considers him to be a joke. Like, that's not, you can't sell that to fans. So I think that they should get rid of Kawhi. Bring in Damian Lillard, dude. That would be like, we just made a huge trade for one of the best players in the league. We got rid of our injury problem guy, and we brought in this guy. He's going to shoot threes from half court, and he's going to dunk on people.
What does the rest of their team look like, though? I mean, I remember, I think I would still be a fan.
I would love the Clippers next year if they did that.
Run back. Do they still have the Plumlee Zubats combo?
Yeah, those guys are buzzing.
I love that front court. Who do they got on the wings? Do they keep PG?
Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon? That's the first name you say? That's so rough.
Why? Robert Covington?
Bones?
He is still there. I hate Bones. I don't hate him. What's wrong with me? I dislike his game. I think he's unreliable.
Okay. That's a perfectly reasonable thing to say. To finish up the Dame conversation. So far we've found the Knicks and the Clippers. Lakers, no way. T-Wolves, I could see them making a bunch of moves, maybe moving Cat. But then you have Ant, Ed, and Dame.
That'd be awesome.
I mean, yeah.
But I think Dame would request a trade next summer from that team.
The Pels.
Zion for Dame?
Dude, CJ McCollum for Dame? Go back to the Blazers?
Or bring those two guys back together?
I don't know. I think McCollum's a little bit washed.
I don't think so.
Really?
I think he is definitely a Robin, not a Batman.
Yeah.
So he's been thrown into a lot of those situations where they need to rely on him too much, and he's not that kind of guy, dude. Also, he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, he's well on his way to being a analyst.
Yeah.
So, smart guy.
That guy is no stranger to early exits or missing the playoff. his ESPN appearances in April and May, racking up. To close, Thunder. Dude, they're getting Chet Holmgren next year.
Dude, get the fuck out of here.
They're getting Holmgren next year. Shai Gill, both Jalen Williamses. I love that team. I can't wait to watch the Thunder again. I was actually pretty upset when they didn't make the playoffs. I thought they were going to be a fun little dark horse. Like maybe they could steal 2 games in the first round or something from like the Nuggets. Yeah, I mean, obviously not, but
definitely not, dude.
The Mavs, the Jazz.
Yuck. Vomit and deuce.
All right. Well, that's literally the league.
The Jazz just re-signed Jordan Clarkson today.
Max extension.
Yikes! Jordan, he's 31 years old.
I don't know if it was Max. He got extended.
Dude, come on. Don't do that to me.
LaMelo Ball got the max extension.
It's a possible yikes. He in terms of raw talent and feel for the game, top 5 in the NBA. He's unbelievable, dude. Have you watched his highlights after I told you to? Yeah, that boy knows how to. He sees stuff that I could never imagine myself seeing, and I think of myself as a visionary.
Yeah, a visionary. I like the way you said that.
Yeah, I've envisioned stuff. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
must be a great gift.
I'm starting to get fucking buzzing.
K-Love is back with the Heat.
Congratulations.
Halliburton max extension.
Congratulations.
Joel Ingles to the Magic.
I love it. They have a lot of non-U.S. born players over there, and they added to the list. I love it. Also, Mo Wagner is back with the Maj.
Yeah, the Maj.
They're buzzing, flying through the neutral zone.
Joe's in a terrible mood.
I'm not. This isn't a bad mood, dude.
All right, James Harden. Do we play the same game?
Get him to Houston and let him play out the rest of his career. That's it. Let's not overthink this. Let's get as much back as possible. I would even reset on the Embiid thing. Philly's culture is not where it needs to be. If I was Daryl Morey, I would trade those guys away and then leave town. Just just put Philly back into the bottom of a dumpster. Everything that I know about that organization now after that one Bill Simmons podcast, there's no hope. No matter who you bring into that locker room from a player or coach standpoint, it ain't happening. Get rid of everyone. Clean house. Harden is the first domino to fall. And depending on who they end up signing to complement Joel Embiid, I wouldn't be surprised if Embiid is demanding a trade by mid-February or January.
I got nothing else on the NBA.
All right. I have a little bit of stuff, I think.
All right, let's see what you got.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't checked my notes in a couple days, but what about the Bet Stamp app, dude? Bet Stamp app. Um, sometimes, sometimes you really, really like a pick, right?
Yeah.
What pick did you like today? I'm pretty sure we're on the same page with this.
Reds to cover.
Yeah.
Andrew Abbott on the bump.
Yeah.
One of the most reliable mound dwellers.
Mound dwellers.
The blonde lip sweater. Guy's a stud.
Yeah.
He is still undefeated. The result did come today already. Nursing a 2-0 lead for most of the game. He gives up a solo jack.
All right, dude, you're not telling this the right way. He had 8 Ks when I turned it on in the top of the 7th inning. There was one out. He struck out 4 straight batters. They sent him out, 2 straight batters, and then they sent him out for the 8th inning. He strikes out the first 2 guys, and then somebody hits a solo shot. Continue what you were saying.
And then up 2-1 now. What, did they send it to extras?
No, he gets yanked. Somebody else comes in, gives up a home run to Tatis on the next batter. Tie ball game. Bottom of the 8th. The Reds scored. We were at Duncan, so we missed this. The Reds scored 2 runs, so now they're up again. The cover is still alive, and the Padres score 1 run. Reds still win the game. Abbott gets the win, I believe. And yeah, he finished the day with 7 2/3, 12 Ks, 4 hits against that superstar studded lineup in his 7th start of his career. He's a stud.
But the Reds cover pregame, the best line could have gotten was with DraftKings at plus 145. What an absolute play. They did not cover, but they did win the game. Profit exchange, the best line on the money line at minus 126.
Dude, I'm looking at this one too. On the BetStamp app, the Giants at the Mets. That game hasn't started yet. It starts at 7. Profit Exchange has the Giants. I like the Giants, dude. The Mets are a dumpster fire of an organization. Their season is over. They also need to fire their head coach or manager, I guess it's called in baseball. Buck Showalter is yesterday's backyard, kind of guy.
No.
What?
No.
What's wrong with you?
Tyler Bertuzzi just signed with the Leafs. 1-year deal. A 1-year deal. A 1-year deal. That's not going to be fun next year. Wow, they got rid of Bunting and upgraded big time. They got Ryan Reeves too. That's not going to be fun. It's nice knowing you, Bertuzzi. Can't wait to watch JVR all year next year. The old 6-goal special in 55 games. Well, it's the end of an era. You know, we trade Hall to create cap space to re-sign the new heartbeat of the Boston Bruins, and he goes and signs with the Toronto fucking Maple Leafs. It's a very sad day to be a Bruins fan. Um, yeah, I'm at a loss for words.
Yeah,
I've been scrolling Twitter for 5 days now, and it's been only bad news. Only bad news. The only thing I can be happy about right now is the New York Giants and the potential. But the Boston Bruins are struggling right now. The Boston Red Sox are struggling right now. The Nets just completely overpaid Cam Johnson. What the hell?
Dude, I don't think I could go on, man, with this pod.
It's all right. I'll take care of the NHL section. The Bet Stamp app, where you can shop lines
What an ad. What an ad. Unbelievable.
and get the most bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Use promo code Sync Boys.
All right, let's move it along, dude. I really don't want to talk about the NHL long. I'm super upset, and I'm not joking. I'm not kidding, dude.
Joe's pushing the narrative here.
Pushing the narrative. What are you
All
talking?
right, we're opening up with the Pierre-Luc Dubois trade. This
Dude,
guy forces his
alright,
way out of Columbus after being the third overall pick in the Austin Matthews draft. Forces his way out, goes to Winnipeg. He's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to end up in Montreal at some point. The Kings just traded for him. What do we think?
I don't know who this person is. I've never heard of him before. We've been talking about the NHL for like 2.5 years now. Who the fuck is this guy? Is he totally irrelevant? What is this about?
We've talked about him a handful of times, a baker's dozen times.
There's nothing inside the hand that was the handful.
That was almost good. Pierre-Luc Dubois. High end second line center, low end first line center. Power forward. If I had to guess, probably averages 22 to 25 goals a year. Gets talked about and treated like he's a 35 goal scorer. He was a third overall pick in the 2016 draft, I think.
He sucks.
And he seems to have a problem with wherever he's at. Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Dude, he sounds like an asshole.
Yeah. And especially a guy
Pierre-Luc Dubois. Can you imagine somebody walking up to you, shaking your hand, and that comes out of their mouth?
My name's Pierre-Luc.
Even worse. Separating Pierre-Luc and Dubois makes it double down worse.
Eunice Corpusalo to the Sens. Sens got some goaltending.
Who is that? Dude, you can't. Like, why didn't you maybe talk to me before we did this? Like, hey, you know who this guy is? You know who this guy is?
He is. He's the guy against the Lightning that had that 7-period 80 save game. You remember that? I think that was 2 years ago.
Nah, it was before my time.
He's a stud. He's been trapped in Columbus for a while. He's finally getting out of there. Solid tendy in the league for quite a bit, and he's gonna get a chance with another young team. So good luck to him. Good luck to them. The biggest question mark of the offseason so far: Ryan O'Reilly to the Nashville Predators. He was on the Leafs, and he didn't want to re-sign, obviously. I mean, who would want to go sign there, Tyler?
It's not funny. It's not funny, dude.
But Nashville? I don't understand. They just bought out Matt Duchene. They need center. Okay. They're not a contender. I could see them being a contender now.
Nashville?
Contender is too far.
Dude,
Playoff.
they are
Playoff.
the Chicago Bulls of the NHL.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yeah. The treadmill of mediocrity.
No.
Yes.
Dude, they've been a team that has young guys coming up, maybe a little bit of asset mismanagement, but a younger team that is built from the net and the back end out. They don't have the most forward depth. They don't have a lot of scoring, but they're a good defensive squad. They always have it.
Mediocrity.
No,
They don't have
that's
goal
how a
scorers.
lot of teams are structured. Dude, that's how the Bruins were for
How is
years.
hockey scored? Like what? Like how do they determine who wins the game?
Score goals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why Leafs have 17 cups, right? Exactly.
Yeah, but they don't have anything in their back end. That's different.
No, you're just going back on it. But Ryan O'Reilly, a culture changer. He didn't want to stay with the Leafs. That's obvious. Because they have a locker room cancer and Mitch Marner sticking around.
Jack knows Mitch Marner personally.
Yeah. Everybody
Knows
hates
he
him.
Gossips about the team and about the wives. Okay, keep going.
But the Preds doesn't really make sense to me. Because they're just not in the playoffs.
Just talking up this team and they just make a big signing and now you're just like, doesn't make sense.
I said contender and you freaked out. I meant to say like a playoff fringe team.
Mediocrity. That is the Bulls. They've been in the play in 3 straight seasons.
Dude, they probably finished like bottom 8 this year, the Preds. If they go to like 16th, 15th, 14th, that's a lot better.
Yeah, but the year before that, they were the 8th seed in the playoffs.
Okay, and they went to the Cup with PK Subban when they were the 16 seed.
16?
They barely snuck in the playoffs like the Panthers.
Yeah, but we know that those teams have a little bit of wagging in them. Like wagging tail. Jack, what, dude?
We'll get to the Bruins at the end.
No.
Ryan Reeves. I don't know why I said Ryan Reeves to the Rangers. Ryan Reeves to the Leafs.
Dude, this is. You're not allowing me like a recovery time and like a processing.
Dude, I'm a bigger Boston Bruins fan than you.
That's completely irrelevant.
Why are you so heartbroken over the Tyler Bertuzzi stuff?
Because
he was a Bruin for 28 games. 28 games.
But dude, what is like the reason why the Bruins lost? Because they didn't have enough dogs getting after it on both sides. And that's exactly what Bertuzzi was. And this is what happens, dude. What was I talking about with the Lillard conversation? Why I hate those conversations is because we build up these expectations about how guys are going to fit into teams just for some random fucking team to come in out of nowhere and make a play. And now my expectations were sky high. Dude, I was actually going to get a Bertuzzi Bruins jersey. I don't have a Bruins jersey. That was going to be the guy. And he's gone. He's gone. I might have to get his Leafs jersey. What's so funny, dude?
I just know that would never happen.
Yeah, you're right. I'll miss you, bro.
Bruins got old, and they just got a lot older.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a second. Freddie re-signs in Carolina. Max Pacioretty, after being one of the reasons that the Hurricanes got eliminated, because he never showed up, and they really desperately needed him, and he's a fragile body. He goes to the Caps to join another fossil in Ovechkin.
Another middle-of-the-road team that is not going anywhere.
Yeah, no, the Caps aren't trending up or down. They're stuck at that 20th in the league spot.
Can you imagine you're the GM of an organization and fans are saying you're not going up or down? This is the most meaningless play you ever did.
Tristan Jarry resigns with the Penguins, and they also get Ryan Graves. Ryan Graves is a solid defensive defenseman. Pittsburgh might be better. They're in the Carlson sweepstakes, so they're going to have 2 Chris Letang's, Sidney Crosby, and Evgeny Malkin. And Tristan Jarry and Ryan Graves.
and William Carlson.
William Carlson. They got William Carlson. No, Riley Smith.
You just said Carlson.
Eric Carlson.
Classic mix-up.
They are cousins. From Sweden. Horngaring?
Dude, there's a W in that word.
What? Sweden?
Yeah.
Not when you're Scandinavian.
That was good.
Klingberg to the Leafs.
What?
Yeah. Hilarious.
Dude, what are the odds?
An old puck-moving defenseman. And their reasoning on Twitter. They're fans. You know, our production from the back end wasn't that good last year. You should look at the plus minuses more than the points for the defenseman. All right. Oh no. Our third pairing had 12 points total on the season. All right, well, if they were plus 5, that's the only thing that matters. If they were dash 27 and they had 20 points each, that's not better.
All right, I'm looking up the Leafs line right now.
To win the cup,
Yeah.
it's going to be top 5.
It's plus 1,200. It is 5th.
Yeah.
The Avalanche are favored.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
Hurricanes are 2nd. The Devils are 3rd. The Oilers are 4th. The Leafs are 5th. The Knights 6th. Lightning, Bruins, Stars, Rangers, Panthers, Kings, Wild, Penguins. This is gonna get switched up real quick.
Devils irresponsibly way too high.
Yeah.
Colorado is as much of favorites, I think, as they should be. I think that's perfect. They're number 1.
Yeah.
Leafs, classic them being top 5. And it's just like, look at that lineup. They can't be denied. Well, they have been every year. Who's 4?
Oils.
That it could be the Oilers' year. They really
Who
where's
did they get?
Vegas?
6th behind the Leafs.
Yeah, so the West is really strong.
Dude, if you were to
Especially with Tampa Bay aging out, Toronto not being good, Hurricanes not having what it takes to get there.
All right, so as of today, July 2nd, 2023, my predictions for the NHL, NBA, and NFL champions. All 3 sports are in the offseason right now. Are the Warriors are going to win the championship in the NBA. The Maple Leafs are going to win the championship in the NHL. And the New York Football Giants are going to win the Super Bowl in the NFL. This is a 3-leg parlay for $9,000. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. Dude, this will be like the most legendary calling ever.
Yeah. Don't cash out before it all hits.
Right.
Like that one guy.
Yeah.
That had the Huskies.
Yeah.
The Nugs and the
Knights, I think.
For me, the NHL, the top 3 teams on that list that you just named the odds for, in no particular order, it should be West, 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 1, 2, 3, in Knights, Avs, and Oilers, and then comes
Are the
East
Knights
teams.
losing, guys? They just handled.
They just lost Riley Smith, as I know. Aiden Hill just re-signed.
Good for him.
Mark Stone and Jack Eichel are going to be there for a while. Chandler Stevenson, I think so. Also, William Carlson, I have no idea what his contract situation is like, but Alex Pietrangelo is going to be there for a while. Dude, we didn't bring that guy's name up once the whole playoffs. He's one of the best defensemen in the league. Steady 2-way. He can move the puck just like anybody in the league. All right, let's talk about the Bruins real quick, and then we'll wrap this one up, unless you want to talk about some great American pastime.
No.
Okay, so Kevin Shattenkirk. I had a memory pop up on my Snapchat of, a couple couple fun times I was sharing with my friends for 4th of July at my friend Pete Cassidy's lake house. And I remember 7 years ago when I was there, when the Rangers signed Kevin Shattenkirk in free agency. And I think the Rangers fans that I was with were excited about it. And I was like, that guy's kind of a fossil. He sucks. 7 years later, my team does it. I don't know what the plan is here. What are we doing? We signed him, JVR, and
Lucic
to 1 year deals. What are we doing? Seriously. What are we doing? It's not like these are like veteran like guys that are going to get the boys going kind of additions. It's more just like these guys are expiring contracts. They're old. They used to be good, but we can get them for good value right now. That's it. We're filling in a lineup. What with this lineup as currently constructed, without Bergeron, we have Coyle and Zaka as our top centers. Defense core still intact. Not even mad about losing Orlov. We lost Cliffy too. Cliffy's with the Sabres now. They'll enjoy him.
Sus.
I don't know, man. I don't know what we're doing here. At this point, like with this squad, like those moves, you just tricked David Pastrnak. That's it. That's all we did here. We got Marchand for a couple more years, Pasta for a bunch more years, McAvoy for a bunch more years, Lindholm for a bunch more years. And then the rest of the team is a giant question mark. It sounds like this might be a tank year.
All right, so I know this is not where you saw me going with this, but listening to you talk about the Bruins and the fact that you're like, what are we doing? Doesn't this make you extremely appreciative of Joe Shane, Brian Dable, and what the Giants are doing in terms of the front office?
Absolutely.
Like, also, follow up. Before the Giants signed Daniel Jones, there was this fear striking through New York about, oh my God, we don't want to overpay Daniel Jones. The market is going to be insane. And then they got him for below the quote unquote possible market of around $45 to $50 million because he would be getting more money potentially than Patrick Mahomes. And that idea absolutely blew the minds of millions of citizens in New York. But now they have reportedly around $65 million lined up to have available in cap room next season. Daniel Jones is embracing his role as the underground society king of New York behind the face of a laughingstock organization in Aaron Rodgers. And it seems like this was the best move that we could have made.
We're going to be laughing in like 2 years.
I love laughing.
In like 2 years, we're going to be like, wow, Daniel Jones is on our team. Don't have to pay him that much. Other teams are paying their quarterbacks way more.
And the Jets have to pay Rodgers $100 million next year.
Let's go! We're going to the Cowboys game.
What? We got the tickets?
Oh, not yet.
We will.
Also, Giants Jets week 8. The sidekick, Colin Cowherd's sidekick, talking about Jets versus Giants, going through the Jets schedule, calling the Giants week the second week of a double bye because they have a bye the week before. Doesn't take the Giants seriously. Says Daniel Jones with that defensive line coming at him. What defensive line?
Yeah.
Jermaine
Delusional
Johnson.
Jets fan. He's the top of the iceberg.
Jermaine Johnson, a second-year edge rusher. I don't even know his numbers from last year, but yeah, Quinnen Williams is one of the best.
He's not even on their team.
That's a very, very good point.
They don't want to pay him. They'd rather give Aaron Rodgers a planet with a moon than pay their cornerstone defensive lineman that's been there his whole career.
Despicable Me too. Guy
I
trying to
don't get
steal the moon.
All right, this has been the Sick Boys Podcast. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube at CINQ Boys. Download BetStamp app, code CINQ Boys. All right.